Hi guys, welcome to Liming with Courtney. Today I'll be reviewing season 9 of Married at First Sight, which is now available on Netflix. The show covers four couples: Keith and Iris, Matt and Amber, Elizabeth and Jamie, and of course, Diona and Greg. Now, this was the first time I was watching this reality show, and I must tell you that I was kind of into it. I'm like, oh, that's not too bad. Like, two perfect strangers get married, and then they have to decide whether or not they want to stay together after 8 weeks. So basically, the show is like this. You do not get to meet your spouse until you literally walk up to the altar. So for the brides, they'll be walking up the aisle, and then you will see a man at the end, and then they're like, oh, okay, so this is gonna be my future husband, right? And that's totally strange. Like, when they announce them husband and wife, and they say, please give a round of applause for, say, like, John Brown and Elizabeth Brown, or Mr. and Mrs. Brown, and then the bride be like, oh, so last name is Brown, all right, I guess I can work with that. So it's like another take on like arranged marriages, but on steroids. Anyway, well, let's just say Iris should not have been on this show. Iris is a virgin. She's 27 years old, and she decided that, of course, she does not want to give herself away until she gets married. But then the whole dynamic behind it is that Iris did not give herself away after she got married, because she said she wanted her husband to get to know her before they took that leap. She didn't want to just go and give herself away because, oh, she just happens to be married now. And the interesting thing is that when you apply for the show, you can tell the panel the type of spouse you are interested in. And Iris did not mention that she would like a spouse who is a virgin. So she would have contemplated the possibility of a non-virgin getting married to her, which is exactly what happened. And not only is she a virgin, but literally she did not want to do hugging and kissing on her husband. She kept it very, very PG. And it's not even like PG-13, I mean like PG-10. Is that a thing? Anyway, so that was the whole drama with them. Diona and Greg, they started off very well. The only problem is that Diona had not been in a relationship for 10 years. So like literally her last relationship was when she was in high school. So really, was that a relationship? Greg, I would say, was her first relationship. Greg, on the other hand, had been in more than a relationship, in that he was engaged, and the woman he was engaged to, I think they were together for 3 years, and then the engagement came to an end, and he indicated that he did a little bit of counseling, some soul searching, all of that. So I guess he learned from his past. Then he had Jamie. Jamie was introduced as Mr. Picky. He had this long list in terms of what he wants in a woman, in a wife, and they paired him up with they say free spirit, but she's more like the wild child, Elizabeth. Like, Elizabeth can go from 0 to 100 real quick. Then there was Amber and Matt. Amber is 20, I think she's either 26 or 27. She's a school teacher. Matt is an ex-professional basketballer. He claimed that, oh, he was tired of the nomad lifestyle and he was contemplating settling down, and that's why he wanted a wife. But then once he got married to Amber, after having so much chemistry in the beginning, he decided that he wanted to be a nomad again, and was spending so much time with his friends, not calling his wife, advising her that he was old. She couldn't even get him on the phone. That was the whole drama with them. And so we followed them, where after the wedding, they went on a honeymoon in Antigua. Some of them had not even traveled out to the country before. I think the show could have showed us a little bit more about how they interacted with each other when they were going to the airport, and more on the plane. It was just like a 2-second shot of them on the plane. But trust me, not everybody you can travel with. And that was really the first outing after the wedding, after them getting to meet each other. So I really would have loved to see a little bit more about that. When they went to Antigua, the couples put on, I guess, the best that they could. They tried to get to know each other, and Iris was just talking a lot about her virginity, advising the girls that the night before or the night of the wedding is when she told her husband that she's actually a virgin. But by that point, Keith's mother had already told him that Iris was a virgin. Anyway, so it just, the whole honeymoon just showed them like going around the hotel, doing adventures together. Like Greg showed out on the honeymoon, like he tried to coordinate things for his wife Deanna, and Deanna was just like, alright Greg, I like that you compliment me, but you compliment me a bit too often. Like it's like give me 4 or 5 compliments in one, and I just don't know what to do with it. And I'm just like, wow, interesting, a girl getting compliments. But I guess after a while it can get annoying when somebody's just like, oh, you look so pretty, oh, you look so nice, and then you're just like, okay, thanks. So if you watched Love is Blind, you wonder if Amber and Matt were like the Amber and Matt on Love is Blind. No, because at least Matt likes Amber on Love is Blind. Matt on Married at First Sight, he's just disgusting. And it's like he acts as if, oh, I've been really working hard at this relationship, when he didn't do crap. But anyway, so you go. Keith suffered a horrible loss on the show. His grandmother died, and at first it seemed like he was like, okay, at least I'm happy that she got to participate in the wedding. But then at the end, spoiler alert, Keith decided that he did not want to stay married to Iris. And I think that he'll be probably saying to himself, oh gosh, my grandmother saw me get married to a woman that I didn't love. That's just how it goes. He decided to go on the show. Iris didn't take it very well when Keith said that he didn't want to be married to her anymore. Like, I didn't like how the panel reacted when he told them that, because he stood in his truth. But the pastor was just so shocked. He looked so disappointed. Like, what, Keith was supposed to stay with somebody that he genuinely just did not find a connection with. And it's a lot of responsibility to be with a virgin, especially the girl does not feel as if you're only with her because you want to say, hey, I'm the one who popped the cherry, so to speak. But you want to make sure that there is love and affection. And then he was just like, it's outside of her virginity. She just didn't seem mature. And the truth is that Iris snapped at him, especially when they were playing a little lovers game. Like, he was trying to touch her, and she didn't want him to touch her, and she didn't want to touch him on his body. And when he's like, but you know, like, I'm your husband, she's just like, well, I don't really care what you want to think. That was her behavior. So I can understand that. In terms of Elizabeth and Jamie, oh my gosh, they broke up so many times on the show. They called each other all sorts of names. I mean, Elizabeth is a whole lot to handle, and her mother even said that to her. And you would think that when her mother tells her that, she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna try, but then she just flips up on him anyway. I had to wonder, like, really, did the both of them, that is Elizabeth and Jamie, did they really put on for the cameras, or that's how they really are? Because I went through their Instagram and they seem all loved up all over the world. In fact, at the reunion, they indicated that they were moving, and they had just been married for a few months, and the host was like, you sure you guys want to go and do that so early in your relationship? But it seemed like it worked for them, so maybe they were just putting on the antics for views. I don't know. But if it is that it's not for views and that's really how they are, it might be cute now in the first year or the second year, but after a while it can get really old. So we just have to check in to see, because these persons got married, I think it was last year. So we have to, about last year March, so we have to check in and see where they are in, say, a year or two's time. Deanna, I've already told you that she was very strict in terms of the compliments. She also had up an emotional wall. So we got to see Greg really work hard at breaking it down. And boy, he is patient. I ain't gonna tell you no lie, he's really patient. Like, his best friend was like, are you sure you can handle this? But it seems as if they're going on well. I hear that Deanna and Greg have their own clothing line now, so kudos to them. Yeah, that's basically it. So what happens really is that after they come back from the honeymoon, they move into an apartment together, and they have to see how they interact while they live at this apartment. There was also a part where they had to go to each other's childhood home to just like grow a closer connection. Throughout the process, you have three persons: a sociologist, a psychiatrist, and a pastor who will check in from them from time to time to see how the relationship coming along. The panel will also review tapes of them. What I said for this season, remember this was my first season that I was watching, but what they indicated in the season is that for the first time the panel decided that they will meet with each couple and see if they wanted, halfway through the process, that is at the 1 month mark, to see if they wanted to go ahead to decision day, because decision day was when they say whether or not they want to stay married or they want to get a divorce. And the panel indicated that they did this because a lot of times persons would just act as if they want to stay in a relationship because of the cameras. So they did that little halfway check. One would say, why didn't Keith mention at that time that he didn't want to continue with Iris? But I think Keith was just trying to see if they could grow more. Like, they even had each other's friends over. Iris went to Keith's grandmother's funeral, went over by Keith's family's home, and I don't think that he would have opened up his family in such an intimate way to Iris if he wasn't genuinely trying to be a husband to her. But anyway, they're young, they'll recover. And even if they weren't young, they'll still recover. There's somebody for everybody. It doesn't mean that you have to stay in a situation that you're obviously unhappy with because you're afraid of not finding anyone else. There's always somebody for everybody, trust me. So yeah, on decision day, as I say, they come and they indicate whether or not they want to stay married or they want to get a divorce. Iris and Keith didn't make it. Matt and Amber didn't make it. Both couples got a divorce. There were allegations of Matt chatting up to women while he was married to Amber, and he wasn't like denying it. He was just like, yeah, well, I was just frustrated. I don't know, he just said some crap. He just didn't care. Out of 5, I'd say I'd give this a 4. I think that's, instead of what I think the 10 or 11 episodes that they had, they could have cut it down to about 7. It didn't need to be that long. Maybe I found it long because I was binge watching it, but on regular TV I might think it's fine. But anyway, I liked it. It was alright. Maybe that season was just good. I don't know, maybe I'll check out another season and see if I like the show overall. But anyway, I was happy to really see that Dion and Greg made it. I'm not going to speak ill about Jamie and Elizabeth's relationship, but the toxic behavior needs to come to an end. It is not good for either party. I'm surprised Mr. Picky really settled for that kind of interaction. I was really surprised. I thought that when he met Elizabeth, he was like, nah, I can get much better. And Elizabeth really does seem materialistic. I don't know if she has seen fillers and fake boobs, but she kept talking about how her lips look and how her boobs look. I don't know. Anyway, young people. So that's it from me. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, this has been Liming with Courtney.